Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the meeting of the Lebanon Utility Service Board for Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025. Let the record show that this meeting was properly advertised. We have two board members that are not present tonight, Tim Hudson and Bill Stoner. There was a working session and executive session prior. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible.
All right, I'd like to offer public comment at the beginning and end of each of our meetings, so we'll go ahead and offer public comment if there is any. Don't see anyone here for public comment at the moment. First item tonight is the approval of our minutes from the November 5th, 2025 meeting. Everyone had a chance to review those minutes, and if so, I'd entertain a motion.
I move to approve the minutes from November 5th, 2020.
Second.
Motion made by Ann, seconded by Aaron to approve the minutes from November 5th, 2025. Any additional comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, our next item is a fuel adjustment, and Sandra Morgan is here tonight. Hey, Sandra.
Good evening, everyone. So yeah, the first item I have tonight is on the quarterly fuel adjustment. And as a reminder, we call it the tracker, but the tracker is a calculation that accounts for the change in purchase power costs that we purchase from IMPA. So if IMPA's costs go up, the tracker goes up slightly. If IMPA's costs go down, then the tracker goes down. So real quick, I don't know if we can throw this up on the screen or if it's already up there. One of the things I wanted to do tonight, and hopefully it's not too simple for everyone, but there seems to be a lot of confusion, and we get online social media posts occasionally that people say, oh, hey, the tracker went up 20%, so your bill is going to go up 20%. And that's really not the case. So I just wanted to walk through how the tracker actually affects a bill. So if you look at the screen in front of you, these are the rates that are from 2012. If you look at we have a fixed charge of $7.88, and I did take an average residential user that uses 1,038 kilowatts, but the first 300 are at $9.52, so $28.58. The next 700 are at $8.93, so you get your $62.51. And then your last 38 there comes out to $3.11. So that doesn't change regardless of whether the tracker changes. That part of the calculation has been the same for the past 12 years. What does change is when you see this line here that says tracker, currently the tracker is 0.02208. The tracker for residential this year, or for this quarter, went down actually 18.64%. So if I take the new tracker and I put it up here, you'll notice it only changes that $22 down to $18. So in essence, even though the tracker went down 18.64%, your total bill's really only going down 3.42%. And that's the same if it's an increase. So if the tracker goes up 20%, your whole bill doesn't go up 20%. It's only this one piece of the calculation. So hopefully that's helpful to anybody watching.
So this tracker we're considering now is what you just referenced.
For residential, yes.
For residential, it's a negative. So we're in a situation where in the next 3 months, the bill of a residential customer, assuming the same usage, would be slightly less.
Yes. So on November 18th, 2025, we did receive our 2026 quarter one electric tracker. And I summarized it on here. I'm obviously not going to read all of these numbers, but if you look at the percent change from the last quarter to what quarter one will be of 2026, it's an 18.64 decrease for residential. It's 1.75% increase for commercial single phase. It's 27.75% decrease for commercial three phase, 10.02% for municipal decrease, 30.17% increase for large power KVA, and then 12.66% for the KWH. And for small power, it was a negative 1.32%. So we did send this out to the Finance Committee several weeks ago. It's been reviewed by Jeff Greedo, myself, and the Finance Committee. And today we are recommending that the board approve the 2026 first quarter fuel adjustment tracker with an effective date of January, February, and March of 2026.
I'd like to repeat the comment I made last time. I appreciate the way you present this in detail for us and our customers. I hope you continue to do it that way. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Sandra. Any questions for Sandra? I would entertain a motion.
I move to approve the 2026 first quarter fuel adjustment tracker with an effective date of January, February, and March of 2026.
Second?
Motion made by Ann, seconded by Aaron to approve the first quarter 2026 fuel adjustment tracker with an effective date of January, February, March of 26. Any additional comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, thanks, Sandra. Looks like you stay put for a minute on the city salaries.
Yep. On October 27th, 2025, the City Council approved Ordinance 2025-35. This ordinance directs the utilities to pay the salaries of the mayor, the clerk treasurer, and the deputy clerk treasurer. And from 25 to 26, they have put in a 0% increase for that. So it'll be the same next year as it was this year. And that's actually information only. It's already in the ordinance, so we don't need to vote on that.
I don't get to do my annual diatribe, so that's probably good. Thank you.
Thanks, Aaron.
I don't know what's stopping you now.
That's what I was going to say.
All right, if there's no other comments, I'd move to item 7, which I believe we are tabling. So this is the amended and restated memorandum of understanding with Hickory Junction water supply, wastewater capacity, pre-allocation reservation agreement, which is still being worked. And so if there are no comments, I would entertain a motion to table.
I move to table amended and restated memorandum of understanding Hickory Junction water supply and wastewater capacity pre-allocation reservation agreement.
Gonna run out.
Heartily second.
Gonna run out of breath, Ann.
I did.
Motion made by Ann, seconded by Aaron to approve tabling this amended memorandum of understanding with the Hickory Junction water supply and wastewater capacity pre-allocation reservation agreement. Any other comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, thank you, Sandra. Okay, up next, we have the wastewater treatment van purchase, and Tony Green from our wastewater treatment plant, he's the supervisor out there, is here tonight for a couple of items. Hey, Tony.
How's it going?
We're not bad.
So tonight we have, as Neil said, 2 different vehicles for the wastewater treatment plant. The first was a Mercedes Sprinter van that was budgeted in for this calendar year, I believe. We are requesting this approval for the pre-treatment program for basically the extension of the program that's coming and the FOG program that we've kind of lumped into all this. So we've compared quite a while now, and I can't take all the credit. Derek White did a lot of this. We compared different brands of these Sprinter vans. We come to the determination that the Mercedes Sprinter van was by far the most reliable, the best in all of this, and they were all comparable prices. So we reached out and got 3 bids from Mercedes-Benz of Indianapolis, Mercedes-Benz of Fort Wayne, and Mercedes-Benz of Champaign, Illinois. We only got 2 responses back. The Champaign, Illinois, give us an informal price, but would not respond with a formal. And Mercedes-Benz of Indianapolis was the cheapest with some upfitted options that we chose to have done to this prior to taking the van from them. So, and just to be clear, on this particular unit, we chose to do everything except the build out on the backside of the van. So the shelving stuff that would be in this, we chose to delay that and work with it for a little while so we can figure out how we want to go about arranging this thing. So that's going to be done at a later date. Just wanted to kind of throw that out there. So, yeah, we're looking to get the approval on this, and it is ready and available basically immediately for pickup.
All right, thanks, Tony. Questions for Tony on this Sprinter 2500 from Mercedes-Benz?
How long will the upfits take to, because I'm assuming you want all that built out before you take
Yes.
possession?
The upfitting company that works with Mercedes in Indianapolis there, we've actually spoke with them ourselves. They kind of got us in contact with them. It sounds like maybe a week. Pretty simple things we were asking them to do, like change some tires out for construction sites and things from what comes on them. Just some pretty minor things. So it's like a week or so.
Just to be clear, that price, the quote from the outside, that's included in the price that's
It
it's
is.
requested.
The
Okay.
68, 273.80. Yeah.
Okay,
That's-
I
that's-
thought that was the case.
Yep.
Right, any other questions?
So this is a vehicle dedicated just to pre-treatment effort, is that right?
Pretty much, yes. Yep. And the fog program also.
Okay. Is it a specially equipped vehicle in some ways, or?
Not yet. What we currently use, Aaron, is just a standard pickup truck with a camper shell on it. And we have those samplers that go down in the manholes. They're pretty good size. Fitting them up in the bed of a pickup truck and then trying to get back in to get them, not to mention, we're going to have to expand on that. Probably going to have to, in the future here, we're going to have to make a purchase of maybe a few more of these samplers over time. That's going to run the pickup truck kind of
A
out
few
of
more
it.
what?
What's that?
You said you're going to get a few more resamplers? Is it?
The samplers that we use for the pretreatment program. And at that point, we'll kind of, this Sprinter van, we're looking a few years down the road too, as we just keep, I mean, let's face it, we're going to grow here and things are not going to get smaller. It's going to be able to house probably 6 to 8 of these samplers, which I say we'll be at 4 or 5 of them here in the next year anyway. But it'll be pretty much for the pretreatment and the fog program.
Now, do you anticipate in the not too distant future having an employee dedicated to just those 2 programs?
Yes.
Could you define not too distant future for me?
Can I jump in and say that that's going to depend on development and how many industrial customers we have?
Yeah.
Right now, they're a little stressed, but as LEAP builds out, as we get more industrial customers, there's going to be more places to sample. And it's going to depend on, we're going to have our pretreatment ordinance review come up. It's going to depend on how much sampling they have to do, how much risk there's involved with each of the businesses that come in. So that's kind of a hard question to answer. So I didn't want to.
It really wasn't a fair question, but thank you for that information.
Yep.
All right, any other questions on this Sprinter? We'll do this vehicle and the next one on the next motion. So I would entertain a motion.
I move to approve the purchase of the 2025 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter 2500 from Mercedes-Benz of Indianapolis for the amount not to exceed $68,273.80.
Second.
Motion made by Ann, seconded by Aaron to approve the purchase of the 2025 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter 2500 from Mercedes-Benz of Indianapolis with a not to exceed amount of $68,273.80. Any additional questions, comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, Tony, and on to the Polaris Ranger.
So for the wastewater treatment plant itself, we had budgeted $50,000 for the Polaris. It's Ranger. It's a utility vehicle. We are currently using a 2007 Kubota side-by-side utility vehicle. It's seen better days. It's a weekly repair now. So we've kind of researched this for quite a long time this year and went back and forth a few different ways here. This particular utility vehicle, it's probably more like a small truck than it is just a regular, glorified golf cart, so to speak. They are expensive. That's why we had to budget $50,000 for this one. In my opinion, and everybody else's I talked to, we come to the determination that the Polaris Ranger, that XD 1500 that we're asking for in this one, would be the best fit. It's also roadworthy, it's trailer worthy, and we use the utility vehicle throughout the plant for all the maintenance.
Will it have a tag on it?
It will not.
Okay.
And you said, Tony, this is replacing a nearly 20-year-old vehicle, right?
It is, yeah.
What's going to happen to that? Is it?
So we tried to utilize it to trade in one way or the other. We're making this purchase, or we're asking to make this purchase through the government site of Polaris. And that is to, based on what Polaris told me, that's where municipalities, police departments, fire departments, that's where they need to go to buy their equipment because that guarantees best price for that municipality. They do not take trade-ins. They do not do anything along those lines. A few other dealers that we talked to that were comparatively priced, but still a little higher, they really didn't want it either. So the plan is hopefully maybe surplus it one way or the other. We've got a few other vehicles back there that we probably need to do that with. So unfortunately, they won't take it on a trade.
So that'll just come back at a future meeting to be declared as surplus or whatever the format is.
I'm guessing,
for that.
yes.
All right. Any other questions on this vehicle? I would entertain a motion.
I move to approve the purchase of the Polaris Ranger Crew XD 1500 from, excuse me, Polaris. I'll get through it, I promise. Government sales for an amount not to exceed $49,308. Pardon me.
Second.
Aaron, you're going to have to take some motions and let her just say second.
I've been trying.
All right, we've got a motion by Ann, seconded by Aaron to approve the purchase of this Polaris Ranger Crew XD 1500 from the Polaris government sales for an amount not to exceed $49,308. Any additional comments? I'm sure Ann doesn't have any. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I'm aye as well. All right, thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
All right, next item is the BFNS design agreement for wholesale water supply program phase 2 and permission to advertise.
Yes, good evening, board. This is the request for the approval of the engineering services for the wholesale water supply phase 2. You may remember we just had a public hearing and we just had an open house. John Leitner's here if you have any questions. So I just wanted to request approval for for this agreement so we can move forward and keep on schedule.
I'm looking at the requested motion, and it doesn't mention advertising. Should that be included in the motion? So, let's see, what are we advertising for exactly again?
So what we'll be advertising for is our build, operate, transfer request for proposals, so the RFP. We've drafted some of those documents for legal to review. We're hoping to get that advertised, first advertisement out on the street on December 11th. Hoping to get RFP responses back by January 30th. So giving, the size of the project and the holidays, giving some little bit of extra time than we usually do on those BOT RFPs, but the size and importance of this project, along with kind of our timeline when we look at land acquisition and SRF closings, that should be adequate.
Okay, Jeff, help me word this motion. I'll put it at the end. And give permission to advertise for, fill in the blank.
RFP for the wholesale water supply Phase 2.
The RFP
2.
All right. Any questions for John? Obviously, this is a big project, and of course, we've had lots of discussions, but John is here for questions and.
Yeah, that's the documentation lays out in significant detail the scope of the work. It is significant.
We have a lot to do. Excited to keep everything moving.
All right, I would entertain a motion.
I move to approve Butler, Fairman, and Seifert Engineering Services agreement for the wholesale water supply Phase 2 design and procurement for an amount not to exceed $2,770,000 and give permission to advertise for the RFP for wholesale water supply Phase 2.
Second.
Motion made by Aaron, seconded by Ed, or Ed's not seconding anything, seconded by Ann, to approve the BF&S engineering service agreement for the wholesale water supply Phase 2, design and procurement for an amount not to exceed $2,770,000, with permission to advertise the RFP, as Aaron stated. Any additional comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, moving on. Next item is Resolution 2025-20, and this is approving the GMP report number 2 for the wastewater treatment plant expansion phases 1 and 2. And our legal counsel will
Yeah,
read this resolution.
Thank you, Board. Also, Bob Holden from Wessler Engineering is here to answer any questions, but this is Resolution 2025-20. Whereas the City of Lebanon, Indiana owns and operates by and through the Lebanon Utility Service, owned utility known as Lebanon Utilities, for the purpose of providing safe, reliable, and efficient wastewater service in and around the city. Whereas the board finds it in the best interest of the ratepayers, the utility, and the City of Lebanon to expand, improve, and maintain the infrastructure of the wastewater system. Whereas the board authorized the issuance of a request for proposals for the construction and operation of a large diameter gravity sewer as a regional lift station and force mains to convey flow from the LEAP district to the existing Lebanon utility system pursuant to Indiana law, including Indiana Code 520. Whereas the project is to be completed on or before January 1. Whereas on or about May 21, 25, conducted a public hearing related to the RFP, the project, and the scoring committee recommendation to select Bowen Engineering for the construction of the project. Whereas the board has received and reviewed Bowen's wastewater treatment plant expansion phases 1 and 2 GMP report number 2, which is attached as Exhibit A, and staff's recommendation to approve the same. Now therefore be it resolved by the Utility Service Board that the wastewater treatment plant expansion phases GMP report number 2 is approved and adopted by the board to become effective upon the execute Service Board this 3rd day of December 2025. 2 items, Board. 1, I'd like to point out that we had a working session to discuss this item. Number 2, there is a typographical error in Exhibit A, page 5. It references GMP report number 1. It should be GMP report number 2, and would love the board's author edit to Exhibit A, page 5.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Questions, comments on this resolution? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve Resolution 2025-20, approving GMP report number 2 for the wastewater treatment plant expansion phases 1 and 2, subject to a correction of a typographical error on Appendix A, page 5, that was pointed out by council.
Second.
Motion made by Ann, seconded by Aaron to approve the resolution 2025-20. This is approving GMP report number 2 for the wastewater treatment plant expansion phase 1 and 2 with corrections to the typo as noted.
So I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman.
Yep.
I'd like to make note that the guaranteed maximum price for GM report number 2 is $57,060,000. And when you add it to the GMAX price for report number 1, the total is $77.4 million. And I don't know if, I just, for some reason, I feel the need to make a special note of project useful life. And this one is 43.4 years, according to the documentation.
All right, thanks for those comments. Any other comments, questions? All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All righty, moving on to the next item. This is a right-of-way engineering and service for wholesale water supply program phase 2. And I think Ed's handling this for us as well.
Yes, sir. This request is for the approval of the BFNS Engineering Services Agreement for the wholesale water supply phase 2 land acquisition assistance to engage their land acquisition team. This agreement relates to the scope includes title searches, for each tax parcel, research of county and state records of these, all the services associated with that. And I would, it's good project forward. It's separate from the other one, just because this one is more or less a different team within BFNS, makes it easier to track costs. So I'd like, so I appreciate it.
All right, thanks for that, Ed. John also obviously is here from BFNS, so if there's any questions, comments at this point?
Kind of quickly to echo what Ed said, really keeping these agreements separate is helping us track through our SRF budgets of the different funds that go into the PER. So we will have another agreement coming before construction starts for construction inspection as well. That's a separate budget bucket with SRF also.
Any other questions? Entertain a motion.
I move to approve the BFNS Engineering Services Agreement for wholesale water supply phase 2 land acquisition assistance for an amount not to exceed $413,450.
Second.
Motion made by Ann, seconded by Aaron to approve the BFNS Engineering Service Agreement for the wholesale water supply phase 2 land acquisition assistance for an amount not to exceed $413,450. Any additional comments? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. We are to the approval of a couple of different claims, payrolls, transfers. First one is for November 19th, 2025. Everyone had a chance to review those, and if so, I'd entertain a motion.
I move to approve the claims, payroll, and transfers dated November 19th, 2025 in the amount of $1,687,000.
Second.
Motion made by Ann, seconded by Aaron, approving the claims, payrolls, transfers dated November 19th, 2025. Any additional comments? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, now we will have the same for the claims, payrolls, transfers dated December 3rd, 2025. I would entertain a motion if there are no questions.
I move to approve the claims, payroll, and transfers dated December 3rd, 2025 in the amount of $6,203,300 for claims and payroll and $8,500,000 for transfers.
Second.
Motion made by Ann, seconded by Aaron to approve the claims, payrolls, transfers dated December 3rd, 2025. All aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And I am as aye as well. Okay, any other business tonight from the board? Anything, Ed, you have tonight?
I just wanted to thank the board for their perseverance. We've had plenty of meetings. Probably took a major portion of the board's day today with our open house with different sessions, and just want to thank them for their dedication to the city of Lebanon.
All right, we will offer public comment again. Don't see anyone here with comments, so with that, looks like we're scheduled to meet December 17th, 5 p.m. And I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Ann, seconded by Aaron to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, we stand adjourned. Thank you, everyone.